Good evening, baseball fans. You are tuning in to another edition of Oakland Athletics Baseball as we are here on the road at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan, as the 49-37 Detroit Tigers play host to the 52-34 first place in the AL West Oakland Athletics. The A's lineup is as follows: center fielder Billy Burns, followed by left fielder Pagan, shortstop Solarte, DH Davis, first base Olson, catcher Vogt, second base Zambrano, recently called up from AAA, third base Canna, and right field is Dyson. While Justin Verlander is on the bump for the Tigers, the former second overall pick in 2014 out of Old Dominion. He's 3-7 this season with a 4 ERA as he is struggling quite a bit here in 2017. And he'll start his day off against the leadoff man for the Athletics and Billy Burns. As Verlander sets, kicks, and fires the first pitch in there for ball one, or should say misses for ball one. So 1-0 count here on Burns. The pitch from Verlander is swung on and taken right back at the middle. That'll get into center field. That's a base knock for Billy Burns. Does what the leadoff man should do and gets himself on base to start off the ball game. So the speedy Billy Burns on first brings up the veteran left fielder in Angel Pagan to the plate. Signed in the offseason to a 1-year deal with this Athletics team. The 1-0 pitch, there goes Burns. Takes off for second base. The throw down is dropped from Iglesias. And Billy Burns has himself a stolen base as he's in scoring position. With no outs and a 1-2 count, Pagan is taken for strike three. Could not pull the trigger. So Pagan will head back to the dugout, and that'll bring up young Jarrod Saltalamacchia, who leads the American League in batting average and has a 400 OBP. First pitch to him, swung through for strike one. Count runs 1-2 now to Solarte. The pitch from Verlander is swung through the circle change, down in the strike zone, and that's going to be strike three as there's now 2 outs with Burns on second, and now that brings up Chris Davis. Burns was on second with nobody out, and now he's in risk of not scoring at all. As the 2-1 count to Davis, here it comes. And that's going to be taken to left field. They're going to test his arm as Burns is sent around third base. He heads home. The throw is bobbled at home, and Billy Burns scores. It's an RBI single for Chris Davis here in the top half of the first as it's 1-0 A's. And now Matt Olson digs in with an 0-2 count. The pitch to the first baseman is swung on and given a ride at the right field. That's down the line and caught in foul territory by Martinez, as that's the third out of the top half of the first inning, so halfway through 2 hits and 1 run for the Athletics. Welcome back to the bottom half of the first inning as the Tigers lineup is shortstop Iglesias, left field Upton, first base Cabrera, right field Martinez, catching is Saltalamacchia, second base Kinsler, third base Castellanos, center field Ghosts, and DH is McGee. While on the mound for the Athletics is Henderson Alvarez, 8-5 on the year with a sub-4 ERA, 3.66 to be exact, in 17 games started. The right-hander out of Valencia, Carabobo, Venezuela. As he'll face Jose Iglesias to start off his day, the shortstop for this Tigers team. As Alvarez turns, kicks, and fires as the first pitch is fouled off behind home plate. Vogt is camped under that one, and he'll put that away for 1 down. As Iglesias is retired, and that'll bring up the 2-hitter and left fielder Justin Upton, struggling in his last 10 games, hitting sub-200. And here comes the first pitch from Alvarez. That's taken for ball 1, 92-mile-per-hour two-seamer, missed the inside half. Count runs 1-2 now, as here comes the pitch from Alvarez. As that swung through the changeup, down and away, Upton goes down swinging. So 2 down now in the inning. That brings up the 3-hitter in Miguel Cabrera, the fellow countrymen of Cabrera and Alvarez facing each other. Here comes the first pitch from Alvarez. In there for strike 1, two-seamer inside half. 0-1 count. Alvarez sets, kicks, turns, and fires. That's swung on and grounded out to left side. Fielded by Canna, fires on the run, and that retires Cabrera for out number 3, a 1-2-3 inning for Henderson Alvarez, as at the end of 1 inning, it's 1-0 A's over the Tigers. Welcome back to Detroit for the bottom half of the second inning as J.D. Martinez digs in, leads this Tigers team with home runs on the season, and he'll be facing the right-handed Henderson Alvarez. First pitch is fouled off for strike one, two-seamer inside half. Here comes the 0-2. From Alvarez, swing through, he got him. On the fastball, up in the strike zone, he whiffed right through that, and there's one down now in the bottom half of the second. Brings up Jarrod Saltalamacchia. Here comes the first pitch from Alvarez. Taken, ball one. 92-mile-per-hour two-seamer misses the strike zone. Count runs 1-2. The turn kick fired from Alvarez, and that's going to be grounded down the line opposite way. Nobody is there as the shift was on. Pagan has to hustle to get that one, but Saltalamacchia has himself a easy stand-up double where nobody was on the shift. So with one out, Saltalamacchia is on second, and now that brings up Ian Kinsler, the second baseman. As the 2-2 count on him, here it comes. That's swung on and lined right at the second baseman, Zambrana. He'll snag that one out of the air. Tries to tag second in time, but can't quite get there as Salty gets back in time. And now that'll bring up the third baseman, Nick Castellanos, who's on fire in his last 10 games, hitting about .360. First pitch from Alvarez, taken for ball one. 3-0 count now to Castellanos. The pitch from Alvarez, that's ball four, a four-pitch walk for Castellanos, as that sets up first and second here for the Tigers to bring up Anthony Gose, the center fielder. Leads this Tigers team in stolen bases. Full count on him. Alvarez sets, works from the stretch. That's swung on, taken up the middle into center field. Burns fields on the run, tosses home, but Saltalamacchia will score before the throw. And that's going to be a tie ball game here in Detroit. 1 Tigers, 1 Athletics after the RBI single from Anthony Gose. Now that brings up the DH and Casey McGee. 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That's swung on and taken out opposite way into right field. Dyson's under that one. And he retires that for out number 3 in the inning, but not before the Tigers strike for 1 on an Anthony Gose single. That makes this game a 1-1 tie here at the end of 2. Welcome back to Comerica Park here in Detroit as Billy Burns digs in. The leadoff man as he faces Justin Verlander, who's still on the mound here in the top half of the 6th. It's going to be a drag bunt laid down right side. Fielded by Cabrera, and nobody's there to cover first, and Burns has himself an infield single. So he's on first base. Now that brings up the left fielder, Angel Pagan, who's 0 for 2 so far in the day. Well, that was Billy Burns' second hit. Here comes the pitch, and there goes Burns. Takes off for second base. The throw down is in time as they got him. Iglesias slaps on the tag on the throw from Saltalamacchia, and Burns is no longer a base runner. So count runs 2-1 here to Pagan. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and popped up left field, opposite way. Upton's camped under that, and he'll put that one away for out number 2. And now they'll bring up the 3-hitter in the shortstop on the day, Jarrod Saltalamacchia. He's moved over to shortstop since Jed Lowry has some damage in his knee, and he's been put on the DL, so Solarte is now playing shortstop. 2-0 count on him. He's going to be driven out to center field. That's deep center field, but Gose goes back, and he retires that for out number 3. As that's a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Verlander, and it's still tied at 1 here halfway through 6. Welcome back to the top half of the 8th inning here, still tied up at 1, as Jarrod Dyson, the number 9 hitter, digs into the batter's box, sitting from the left side of the plate, obviously, to face the right-handed Ryan Pressly. First pitch in there for strike 1. So the 0-1 count to Dyson. Pressly sets. Kicks and fires. That's swung on and taken over the head of Kinsler into right field to the land, as Martinez cuts that one off for a single. But the speedy Dyson is on first base. And now Billy Burns is at the plate. Pressly sets at the chest. Looks down the runner, and there goes Dyson. Pitch out, throw down, and it's not in time despite the pitch out as Jarrod Dyson swipes second base, and he gets himself into scoring position with nobody out. So the 1-0 count to Burns as he lays down a beautiful bunt to the right field line. He is tagged out by Cabrera, but Dyson moves up to third base with 1 out in this tie game. So the speedy Dyson just needs a sac fly to score. And now that brings up Angel Pagan, is 0 for 3. Presley sets at the chest. Here comes the pitch, as that's popped up into shallow left center field. Iglesias goes back for it, and he'll retire that for out number 2, so Dyson no longer has the ability to come in on a tag-up, and it'll have to be a single here at least to score him. So Jarrod Saltalamacchia is the man you would want for that job as he digs in. First pitch taken for ball 1 outside, curveball. Misses the strike zone. Count runs 2-0 now. Here comes the pitch from Presley. That's swung on and taken into right field. Fielded by Martinez. Dyson scores easily. That's an RBI single for Jarrod Saltalamacchia, as the Athletics have the lead now 2-1 here in Detroit, as Solarte is pumped over there on first base. And now that brings up the DH and Chris Davis. And he's going to pop this first pitch up into foul territory. Cabrera's there to retire that for out number 3. But not before the Athletics take the lead 2-1 here on the Jarrod Saltalamacchia RBI single. It's 2-1 Athletics here halfway through 8. And we are back here for the bottom half of the 9th inning as Sean Doolittle comes out of the bullpen for the 36th time this season, looking for his 28th save, the South Jersey native. The lefty faces the right-handed Justin Upton to start off his 9th inning. Athletics up 2-1. So the 0-2 count to Upton, here it comes. As that's whipped through the fastball, 1 down in the inning as Upton will take that walk of shame back to the dugout. There you see that Doolittle is tied for the American League lead in saves with 27 with 2 other closers. Now that brings up the always dangerous Miguel Cabrera. First pitch to Miggy is going to be taken into center field as Burns will field that one. Gets it into the cutoff man quickly. But Cabrera has himself a single to keep the inning alive here with 1 out and now runner on first. And now J.D. Martinez, 0 for 3 so far in the day, digs in. Miggy on first, 0-2 count to Martinez. Here comes the pitch from Doolittle. As he goes down looking, Martinez will take the walk of shame back to the dugout. As he's retired on the backwards K, Miguel Cabrera is still on first. Now that brings up Jarrod Saltalamacchia, the catcher, hitting from the right-handed side of the plate against the left-handed Doolittle. Here comes the 0-1. As that's swung on and taken past the glove of Zambrano into center field. The poor glove of Zambrano shows up there at second. And now it's first and second as the inning is kept alive by the single from Saltalamacchia. 2-2 count here on Kinsler now. Doolittle sets, fires. That's a ground ball past the third baseman Canna. Cabrera will hold up at third base as the throw comes into the plate quickly. But it's bases loaded with 2 outs here for the Tigers as they have a chance to end this ball game. As Jacoby Jones comes into the batter's box, he pinch ran earlier in the game for Castellanos. As Doolittle delivers the first pitch of the AB, taken for ball 1 up in the above the strike zone. Full count now to Jones. Doolittle sets at the belt, working from the stretch. Here comes the pitch. There goes the runners, and he swings through it as the A's win this ball game. Doolittle made it interesting with bases loaded, 2 outs, a 3-2 count. A walk would have tied the game for the Tigers, but Doolittle clutches up at the end and picks up his 28th save of the season, and that is now an American League lead with 28 saves as this Athletics team now improves to 53-34 in the season, and the Tigers drop to 49-38. As they come with the victory here by a score of 2-1 over the Detroit Tigers. Player of the game honors go to Sean Doolittle for striking at 3 in the bottom half of the 9th despite allowing 3 hits. And Jarrod Dyson, Billy Burns, Chris Davis, and Matt Olson all had hits for the Athletics. As Felix Dubront gets the victory, Sean Doolittle gets the save, Ryan Presley gets the loss in this 2-1 A's victory over the Tigers. As that being said, it's going to wrap things up here for this edition of Oakland Athletics Baseball. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.
Take what you can get, she's never asking why. Now I know that's treason. I'm shaking it.